Villain Report here with you right now. And this is the Lions free agent profile. I am your resident villain, Russell Wayne, and that is at 313villain on X. And in today's video, we are going to be highlighting one Kevin Zeitler right here in the free agency profile. So Kevin Zeitler came here last year. He signed a $6 million deal. He came in and he played very well last season. So what are some pros and cons of bringing back Kevin Zeitler? I can't really see too many of the cons to bring him back as long as it's not too expensive. 86.8 overall grade on PFF. That was 5th in the NFL. And in run blocking, he had an 87.2 run blocking grade, which was good for 3rd in the NFL. Now, for $6 million to get an upgrade over Jonah Jackson, who went and signed with the Rams last year for a $17 million a year deal, you did very well right there. So if you can get Kevin Zeitler back, that wouldn't be such a bad thing. And one thing I'd like to point out here, right now, under contract, Christian Mahogany, that was your 6th round draft pick from last year. You got Frank the Tank Ragnow, who's played at a top 5 level at the position of center, and he's here for a couple more years. They may even extend him this year. You got Graham Glasgow, who may be coming off the worst year of his career, but you have him, and if you can get him to be a depth piece by the end of this offseason, that would be cool. Colby Sorsdahl and Giovanni Manu are your developmental pieces that you have. So, what are you going to do? So that's going to be an interesting question right there. And if you do bring back Kevin Zeitler, then there may only be one more roster spot available for interior offensive lineman. And I put Giovanni Manu in there because I know that they brought him in as a tackle, but he's a big dude. I think they've been cross-training him at guard too. So I don't know where these guys are going, but I know that they drafted them to be the developmental pieces. So I wanted to make that clear of what is here already. And I don't want to undersell Colby Sorsdahl or Giovanni Manu. If somebody's going to come in, they're going to have to beat them out for a roster spot. Now, moving on to the draft prospects that we have here. And this is one of the interesting things where I thought that Kevin Zeitler would have been at the top of the priority list to get re-signed. But in all actuality, I would be totally good with them not going into free agency and doing anything crazy, and going with Christian Mahogany as your starting guard. You already had Glasgow in there as the other starting guard. And then you go into the draft season here. And in the draft season, you have some guys like, even if you were to trade for one Myles Garrett in the 2nd round, when you're looking for, interior offensive linemen, they're going to be available. Right? I'm looking here, but Tyler Booker from Alabama, 6'5", 325. PFF has him ranked as the 49th overall prospect. As a guard, that could be a possible 2nd round pick. Tate Ratledge out of Georgia, 6'6", 320. Guard out of Georgia. 98th overall prospect. That's second, third round. Jared Wilson, center, out of Georgia. 6'3". I should be showing you this as I'm going through it. Drafting the big board. Let's see. Let's do it. Here's what we got. Tyler Booker, Tate Ratliff. Look at where these guys are, the PFF ranks here. I know that this isn't the end-all, be-all. We're going to go to the combine here in a minute, and these names are going to shuffle around a little bit. But when I'm looking at these things, 125, 144, 160, center, guard, center. I'm looking at these rankings right here, and right in the middle of the rounds. And this is where interior offensive linemen are usually drafted anyway. Every once in a while, you'll slip one. Maybe this Tyler Booker will slip into the first round for somebody that wants to do it. Maybe it's even the Lions taking him right there. But that's one of the reasons right there, because I showed you a couple different things right there on the presentations. The pros to signing Kevin Zeitler is you got the mainstay going right there. Who knows how long the body's going to hold up. He's a little bit older, but he held out just fine last year. That's the pro. You got a nice pro sitting right in there, ready to go. The con is you've been developing guys here, and eventually you got to say, okay, we would like you to play now. And I think they're most definitely going to do that with Mahogany, because Mahogany looks like a beast. I'm not just some Homer Lion fan talking about that, but if you want to watch what Christian Mahogany is all about, for one, in the 2 games that I seen him start, he was the best offensive lineman on either team. But if you want proof, just go take that Washington Commander game, first play of the game. Now, it was only like a 2-yard gain, but watch what he does to the defensive lineman on that play. Just take the first play of the Washington Commander playoff game. If you want to know if Giovanni Manu, or not Giovanni Manu, but if Mahogany is ready, yeah, I think he's going to win that starting position right there. And, do you want to re-sign Kevin Zeitler? Okay, I would be totally good with it. But the con is you're developing these guys. Let's throw them in there. Let's move Colby Sorsdahl up. You don't have to start these guys. Colby Sorsdahl played very, very limited snaps so far. And maybe it is because he isn't ready, but I think that going into this offseason, they're going to put a little bit more trust into these guys. Giovanni Manu, I think that he's going to play next year. He ain't going to start. You got Decker and Sewell. So I'm looking at these free agent prospects and these draft prospects. The free agent prospects are, you got guys that you're going to be spending too much money on. Trey Smith, that's $20 million a year. Dre Dahlman, $11 million a year. $14 million a year for Will Fries, right? Tevin Jenkins won $13 million a year. Kevin Zeitler slots right in there. And you know what? He's a little bit older. You're not going to take any long-term deals on him. We may lose him. But, if you do lose him, like I say, you need to get younger anyway. And you got a couple of guys in here. I don't think it's in free agency. I don't know. You want to bring in Becton? You want to bring in Brandon Sheriff, another older? These guys are older. I think Zach Martin's going to retire. I don't know. I like the draft as the way to get better at that guard position. I don't mind doing both. So when it comes to Kevin Zeitler, on a cheap deal, let's bring him back. I still think that Carlton Davis is more important to get done quickly. I think that you can get by without re-signing Kevin Zeitler, and you can go with your youth movement in that way, and go to the draft another one in there, and just keep that machine going. But I like some of the guys that you got in there. Maybe you extend Frank Ragnow this offseason by a couple years. But this is the Lion Villain Report, free agent profile with Kevin Zeitler. Let me know what you think out there in the comments. Throw it in there. Do we keep Kevin Zeitler? Let him go in free agency? I mean, he might be trying to get $10+ million a year. I mean, he played better than those guys are trying to get $10-15 million a year. He played better than those guys. So let me know in the comments what you think. Bring back Kevin Zeitler. Yay for yes, nay for no. My name's Russell Wayne. That's the 313 Villain on X. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.